Language. So many different noises you can make with your face, but only so many things to talk about. Well, I am Miguel, your car guy, and today we're gonna talk about modern. If you wanna know how to say it in Korean, it is pronounced Hyundai. And guess what? I brought the most modern Hyundai Sonata here because this is the 2020 Sonata Limited. Let's talk about it. What is up, guys? It is Miguel, your car guy, and today I am bringing you the best of the best. And yeah, go ahead, fact check me. In Korean, Hyundai means modern. It's spelled way differently, but it means the same thing, and so does this. This thing is amazing, and I'm about to go ahead and show you why. So I'm gonna cut to the chase and go ahead and dive on in on the 2020 Sonata Limited. And like I said in my Sonata SE video, this thing is sensuous sportiness. Actually, I think I said sensual sportiness, which sounds a little dirty, but hopefully that's not a bad thing. Now, the whole concept behind sensuous sportiness was pioneered by the Hyundai Le Fil Rouge concept. Sounds fancy, sounds French, but guess what? It is not weak. Ha! History buffs. No, I give up. Please, I surrender that joke. I surrender. Please don't hurt me. All joking aside though, Le Fil Rouge in French means the common thread. At least that's what they said on YouTube videos. So the common thread is integrating all past, present, and future Hyundai design models, and this is the first one to incorporate that new design language into the body. And speaking of that body, let's go ahead and take a closer peek under that hood. So in the Sonata family here in the US, you get two choice of engines. In the package 1 and 2, the SE and the SL, you get a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder developed by Hyundai called SmartStream, producing 191 horsepower. But on the Limited, you get a 1.6 liter turbocharged engine producing 180 horsepower. And hold up, the cheaper cars have a more powerful engine? Well, yes and no. Horsepower wise, you do have less horsepower than the 2.5 liter engine, but torque wise, you have more torque. This is 195 pound-feet of torque, and the best thing, peak torque develops at only 1,500 RPMs. So if you're cruising around town, light to light, this thing is more than adequate to get you around the city, because I've driven this thing and it is not lacking at all. It's not a Bugatti Veyron, it's not gonna teleport you to a different dimension, but this thing is very adequately powered, and you're still getting 27 miles per gallon in the city, 36 miles per gallon on the highway. That is cool. Guys, of course I was gonna give you a close-up on the engine. Relax, stop freaking out. You do have the turbo gasoline direct injection, that's GDI, and anything stamped with SmartStream mean that Hyundai developed it themselves. And keeping with the modern Hyundai touches, you do have everything easily accessible. Right there, engine oil dipstick, very accessible. Beyond that, something that I loved with all Sonatas, you still do have the easy change filter. You just unplug 1, 2, go ahead, bring it on out. And without any tools, you are golden. And you have a crap ton of sound insulation. You have the sound insulation under the hood. You have the sound insulation against the firewall. And here on prominent display, you do have the structural adhesive. It is better, in Hyundai's opinion, than welding because it's lighter, makes more fluid bond, and it is much less likely to creaks and rattles, which help lend to the better and improved noise, vibration, and harshness that this car has little of. Oh, and people think I'm full of crap when I say this, but I am 100% true. I love all the technology on this thing, but my favorite little piece of engineering are these little pneumatic lifter arms or hydraulic, I don't even know what they are. But I love that you don't have to mess with the stick anymore, because one day, this thing is gonna fall on your head and make you bleed like it did me, and it was not fun. But that is super cool, and that is something that I really do like, genuinely. Now, we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit more closer look at this front bumper. Not only is it more aggressive, but you see this little air channel right here? You can actually stick your fingers in it. Guess what? It goes all the way through the bumper and comes out right here, if you can go ahead and see that. This air channel at higher speeds actually separates all the turbulent air from the body, making this thing super aerodynamically efficient. Now, doing my research, I've been able to find a few things on Google about the 2020 Sonata's drag coefficient and how aerodynamically sleek it is. So, to benchmark it, this thing, I put it up against the Porsche 911. The Porsche 911 Carrera S has a drag coefficient of 0.29. 2020 Sonata, drag coefficient of 0.27. So this thing is more aerodynamically efficient than a Porsche 911 Carrera S. Give it some. Now, being that this is super early in the morning on my day off, yes, it is my day off, but I'm here at the dealership making this video for you guys. Look at the light being reflected off those corners. This thing is immense. It's impeccable. It is sexy. Like I said, it should be on a beach somewhere in a bikini, but this thing is so nice. And getting to the rear end, this thing is beautiful. Some people like the rear light design. Some people hate the rear light design, but something that you could all agree with, it is distinctive. Now, secret's out already, but if you didn't know, if you wanted to open up the trunk of the Sonata, this part right above the H, you push it, and the Sonata goes ahead and open. Now, this thing has a massive amount of space on the inside, 60/40 rear folding seats. Something that I do love is that Hyundai still does integrate a spare tire, which is phenomenal because most everybody are going away from that. Now, there is a lot of space. I do not remember how much cubic feet there is, but this thing is big. You wanna know how big? Watch. This is how big the freaking Sonata is. It is crazy. I'm 6'1" and I weigh north of 200 pounds, let's just say that. But even though I've been eating some donuts, I can still fit in the trunk of the Sonata, which is amazing amount of space. It really is. All right, getting out. Elegant, refined, I'm good. Now, that is a huge amount of space in the car, but that's not the best part, guys. I really think that this car shines on the inside, and so I'm about to do something that nobody else on videos that I've seen have been doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and shift from daylight to nighttime. Watch this. And just like that, guys, it is nighttime. Now, I shifted time for you because this car is so freaking cool, but guess what? I had to turn on some lights so that way you could see the lights during the nighttime because that's where this car really shines. So I'm gonna turn off this light. Boom. Turn off these lights, boom, and show you the ambient lighting you have across the dash and the doors as well, which is super, super nice. Now, it's not always purple. You could change it to red. You could change it to yellow. And you can go ahead and change it to your custom color too, because yes, you can set a custom mode and a custom color, and this thing is beautiful and ambient lighting. It is phenomenal. But guys, there is so much detail in this car. It is amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it back to daytime-y so you can see the rest, all right? And just like that, it is daylight again. I know I changed shirts that quick too because I so didn't do it last night when the sun was going down at all. Fun stuff. But this thing is super spacious, super modern, and I love the interior look of this beige. I didn't think I would like it in the pictures, but I am a huge fan of this thing. It is super classy. Now, something else I'm a huge fan of is this huge sunroof. Check this out. You do have the full panoramic sunroof going on, so that way you can see, you know, a touch of Hyundai, a touch of modern in this thing, and it is amazing what this thing actually brings. It is great. Now, when you actually get this car, this is the view you will be privy to. And yes, privy is short for privilege because this thing is ultra modern, ultra comfortable, and ultra nice. I love the feel of this wheel. You could drive it in so many different ways. It is incredible. And something else incredible, this car goes ahead and showcases the smart and intelligence of it. This vehicle will automatically be shut off in 26 minutes. Yes, the car will turn itself off if you don't happen to turn itself off, because that is Hyundai having your back. And just like on the Palisade, go ahead and notice that digital cluster. That thing is amazing. You have the rev counter, and you also do have the digital speedometer right there too. And what that allows you to do is put on the blinker and see the camera. Left blinker, right blinker. That is amazing. And a nice little touch of attention to detail is that not is this just some generic car. That is the 2020 Hyundai Sonata. So that is some clever thinking on the Hyundai part. Nice, guys. Moving along from that, you can actually see that you do have the 10.25-inch navigation screen that you can actually make the entire map. So that is phenomenal. Now, if you go ahead and touch the little home button, it actually brings up the home screen, and you can customize that to your liking too. Here you have the time, and here you have the time. Now, let's say you don't want to get double hit with time. We're going to go ahead, touch menu, head it on widgets. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and pull across the weather, put it where time is, and then when you go back to the home screen, now you have the weather outside, plus the map, plus the station that you're listening to, because that is modern. Another thing that's fun is this 360-degree camera. As long as you're in gear, you could actually toggle the view button right here to see the 360 top-down bird's eye view of this thing. Now, the best part is that it's actually practical, because right now, this is all I can see, the rear end of some little Nissans. I cannot see past this gray one right here. Guess what? When I go over here to the camera, in the front, guess what? I can see right past it because the nose is poking out, so that way you know if you're pulling into a blind intersection, your front end isn't going to be taken off by a semi-truck at 80 miles an hour. That is nice. Going down from the nav screen, you do have the digital climate control. Now, that is nothing too special because most cars have it nowadays, and this is a neat little feature that I really do like, but then again, it's not so unique. Something that is pretty unique, though, is a big improvement over what used to be. So in college, my public speech professor said, never call a problem, call it a challenge or an opportunity. So Hyundai engineers decided to go ahead and take the opportunity to challenge the status quo when it comes to comfort, because for the first time, you have automatic blower. Let me show you what that is. So what happens when you put on the air conditioning and you touch auto? Guess what? The air conditioning vent starts to go ahead and take over control. So it gets much noisier and much more windy. Not too many people like that. So you know what they did? They did the blower control. Instead of going all the way up, you could actually lower the automatic blower 2/3. Watch this. 2/3, it's gonna lower. You don't want it to blow that hard, go ahead and lower it to 1/3, and it goes ahead and lower. So not only do you have the automatic temperature, you have the automatic blower control too, so that is the challenge overcome. But the fun is not only up front. You could actually have a little bit of fun in the back too. You know what I mean, baby. But the cool thing about this is now you do have a good amount of space. Even with the panoramic sunroof here, I can still sit in the back very comfortably because there are some indentions in the roof. I don't know if you can see that very well, but as my hand goes up, you could actually see it go down a little bit because you do have some head cutouts for anybody who does happen to sit a little bit taller. So that is nice. You also are surrounded by a full complement of airbags, not only the front airbags, but also side curtain airbags for the back end and the side in case of a T-bone. And remember, Hyundai makes their own steel. So not only does this have more high-strength steel, it is actually 10% lighter and stronger. Go figure that, because Hyundai is the only company to fully employ metallurgists. You know, the people whose only job is to make metal lighter, cheaper, and stronger. Guess what? Hyundai is winning the game, baby, because they have the inside scoop on how to really make things modern. Guys, I had to go ahead and tease you, and you know I wasn't going to show you the most impressive thing about this car. Probably one of the most impressive things on any car in the modern time. This has parking assist, and with the help of this beautiful key, I can go ahead and show you how it works. So I'm going to go ahead, lock the car. Then I'm going to go ahead and turn on the car by holding the bottom button. It's going to go ahead and turn on. Now, you see how I left this wheel messed up? Guess what? I did it on purpose, and if you're following my Instagram, you know exactly what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and push this little P button that says forward. I'm going to go ahead and push and hold it, keep it held, straightens up the wheel, and then it's going to start to move. Watch. There. Yeah, baby. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Now, something else that's really, really impressive. Let me go ahead and jump in front of the car. I'm gonna keep this thing pressed. I'm gonna keep this thing held. Watch what happens now. It stops itself. That is so amazing. Guys, this has been the 2020 Sonata, and as is tradition, before I wrap up, I tell you that I didn't tell you everything about this car, because there is way too much to talk about, especially with this one. Not only didn't I tell you about the parking sensors in the front, but I didn't tell you about the wireless charging or the Hyundai Smart Sense technology, which will help keep you and everybody in your car safe, especially on highway and city streets. Beyond that, there are key options. You could either use a physical key, like you've been doing for the last 100 years, or you could use the NFC card, the near field communications card. So it's like a credit card key, kind of like what you used to get on the Equus and now the Teslas. And you could also use a digital key from your phone. So if you have Android phone right now, you could actually use your phone as your actual key so you don't clutter your pockets or your purse. Apple users, they are coming out, and they would be stupid to not facilitate you, because I guarantee you for the next few months or year, you will have the digital key option too for your Sonata. But guys, my name is Miguel, your car guy. If you like this, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Say Hyundai. Guess what? This thing is spelled way differently than what it actually is spelled on the boot lid of this thing. Boot lid. What am I, English? So, my spell. And guys, I know you've been waiting for it. I had to go ahead and tease you a little bit, and if you're following, give it some. Let's hope that joke goes over well. Yeah, baby. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.